How you doing, family? This is O from Body by O Tactical, bodybyoTactical.com. Today we're going to tackle a topic, a very much debated topic in the gun world, and those who are interested in becoming a part of the gun world, and even those who just want to purchase a gun for personal protection. All right, topic for today is: what caliber should women carry for personal protection, or what caliber should women shoot in general? All right. First thing I'm going to do before I give you my personal opinion, I'm going to let you listen to a couple women who have their own ideas about why they carry what they carry. Here we go. All right. Got a wonderful client here. She does an amazing job on the range. What's your name?
My name is Deborah Ashe.
Outstanding. Tell us what kind of caliber you shoot, and what were some of the things that you thought about upon the purchase or choice of this caliber?
Well, being that I am a lady.
Okay. Which is the topic. It's the topic for today. Yeah, the ladies.
I bought a 9.
Okay, 9mm. Okay. What was your thought process when you walked up to the counter and said, what made you say, I want that gun? Give me that, put me in that moment.
Okay, so I walked up to the case. I looked at all these amazing looking guns, and they had like the revolvers and
okay.
the shotguns and the 22s.
Wow.
And I saw this Taurus Slim.
Okay.
No, let me go back. I saw this HK model, which is something that I started to shoot with at the gun range before I started taking classes from you.
Okay.
I liked the way that gun felt in my hand, but when I went to go look in that beautiful glass case, it was a bit expensive.
Okay.
I believe for a starter piece. Okay,
so wait, you called it a piece. Okay. I love it. So now we're getting into one of the, it's kind of like so when you walk up to the counter, your budget has a lot to do with, there we go. Okay, keep going.
And so I wasn't able to get that one.
Okay.
But then I looked down by all of the other guns that looked like something that I might like, and I tried out about 3 different ones.
Okay.
9mm, a 40, and a 45.
Okay.
And the 45 that was in my budget range was extremely big and heavy.
Right, okay. So when you say big and heavy, are you talking about in terms of concealment on your person, or not so far as shoots? Okay.
And also, I guess the bigness as far as shooting didn't bother me.
Okay.
But as far as, yes, it did to a certain extent, because as far as maneuvering, it was a bit heavy.
Okay,
and I felt like I wouldn't be able to move as much as I wanted to.
Wow.
With the same type of comfortability, because I am a beginner shooter.
Okay.
So I didn't want to choose that caliber.
Got it.
Then I went down to the 9.
Okay.
Saw a slim Taurus.
Okay.
And I was like, oh, that's beautiful. That's sexy.
Okay.
Sexy. That's sexy.
All right.
So I picked it up and I was like, okay, kind of fits with my little skinny hands, my little fingers.
Right.
And the price was right.
Okay.
So ding.
Right. And that's
Taurus
how you choose.
Slim.
Wow.
9mm.
Here's the topic of the day is: what caliber should women choose? And it surprises me that you didn't bring up one of the main reasons a lot of people feel that women should choose smaller calibers. Now, when you were talking about the 45, you said that you didn't choose the 45 because of the maneuverability. It was too big. Now, a lot of people say, well, women should use smaller calibers because of the recoil. Now, it surprises me. I don't see. There we go, and that's the response. Now, because I believe, correct me if I'm wrong. This is totally what this interview is for. I believe that it doesn't matter the caliber or the recoil, because you can be trained to handle that. Right. Okay, so that wasn't.
No, actually, the main reason I didn't pick the 45 that I actually wanted because it was high. Wasn't because
it cost too much.
The caliber.
Right.
Tried to go the inexpensive way
right,
with the caliber, and the other one was like, oh.
Right.
So I don't want that one.
Wow. That means a lot, simply because a lot of women have been told that because you're a woman, because you're small, because you're cute, you should get a small, cute bullet.
I mean, I have a small gun. Do I want to be limited to something that's small? I'm one of those type of women that, I don't know what you call it. People like to call me a womanist. Whatever. I'm just me. But I like to challenge myself.
Okay.
I want to be trained in all calibers, actually.
Wow.
Because we don't never know what's going to happen at the end of the day. Anything could be right there. Do you know how to work that? Do you know how to shoot that?
Wow.
If it's not at your reach, you need to be capable to know how to use all of those things.
Well, I think that about sums it up. Wow. It's Ibora Ashe in the building. Well, there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. We're going to do some more interviews and see what other women feel about this topic. First one for today, she's saying that it does not matter the caliber. It's all about what it sounds like, your personality, and what you feel you should have for that day. In your pockets. There we go. Appreciate that. And here we have another beautiful client of mine, and she's going to tell you a little bit about herself. And, go ahead and tell them your name.
Brittany.
Cool. Brittany. Okay. Brittany, you've trained a little bit with me. Go ahead and tell them about that experience and what you're thinking about purchasing.
Well, trained with you, my first time ever shooting a gun. We went to the gun range. I had two guns. One was a 9, and then the other one was a 45.
Okay.
I feel like the 45 is a little heavier, harder to shoot. I believe you said it's bigger. It's a bigger bullet versus the 9, but it hits harder. So I'm probably gonna purchase. I want to purchase that one.
So you prefer a 45 because the bullet hits harder?
It hits harder, which means I'm not gonna have to shoot too many times. Like if I hit you once, is that what you said?
Right.
Yeah, if I hit you once, then you most likely to go down versus the 9. I'm shooting and it might, go through you. You might still be coming. So I want to hit you and put you down the first time or the second time versus shooting my whole round.
Right. Great. The purpose of this video is, what caliber should women choose? And a lot of people feel that they should choose a smaller caliber because of the recoil. Tell me how you felt about the recoil of the 45, because that's considered a bigger caliber.
Well, yeah, when I shot it shot back hard. I mean, you're going to have to use, I'm small, so when I shoot it, you're going to have to hold it, but I feel like the 9, I don't know, it just, I just feel like the 45 was better. Right.
So how do you feel about the idea that women should have smaller calibers because of the recoil, notwithstanding the training? So it sounds like you're saying that it doesn't matter what the caliber being big, like the 45, as long as you're trained to use it.
Yeah. I feel like, if you feel comfortable with a 9, you just gonna have to know, like, if something does happen, you have to use it, you're gonna have to use it right. Because if you use it wrong, then it's not gonna do nothing. It's not, if you shoot somebody, you miss, or you hit them one time, they might still come at you, versus the 45, if you learn to use it right, and you hit them one time, you're gonna put them down.
Wow.
So you're gonna have to train. And, you can't just feel like you know how to shoot because you done watched a couple movies. You have to go
play some video games.
Learn how to use the gun, and how to hold the gun, and how to load the gun, and everything.
Right. So at this point, you don't own a firearm, but you're thinking about going to go purchase. Now, walk me through your thought process when you go into the gun store. How are you going to approach this situation?
Well, I don't know, because I never had a gun, but those are the only 2 I've shot, and I've held it, and I feel like it's small enough, but it's powerful enough to use. Right. Like I say, I'm small, so I don't want a big gun to where it's going to be hard to get to, or hard to use, or hard to shoot. So when I go in there, looking at all the guns, I want it to be small enough for me, but powerful enough for me to actually
okay. And that's a great thing. A lot of women don't understand that just because it's a larger caliber doesn't mean it has to be a large gun. Okay, so of course you get the compact size and stuff like that, different sizes and variations. But so last but not least, tell us how you feel so far as confidence going into the store after training first.
I'm more confident now because I've actually used it. I know, like, if you've never used the gun before, a lot of women are scared. Being that I'm single, so I don't have a man to protect me. I'm scared of guns. I have children, so I don't want them to touch the guns. I just don't. At first, I didn't want to get a gun at all.
Right.
Because I feel like if my kids get a hold to it, and then they might shoot somebody or shoot themselves. But you have to stay protected. Like, there ain't no room for that to be scared.
Right.
Once you use it, you'll feel much comfortable purchasing a gun. You'll be more likely to purchase one after the training because you know that it's not going to hurt you if you know how to use it correctly.
Right. Of course, using it correctly and storing it properly.
But then you're going to show them how to do that.
Right.
Show me how to do that.
Right.
So
right.
I ain't worried about that now.
Outstanding. Well, we got Brittany here. She's confident now. She's ready to go buy her diamond-studded gun.
Yeah, I ain't say all that, but I'm ready to. Yeah, I'm ready.
That's good. That's good. So you do have the confidence now. You do feel a lot better. Great.
A lot better than I did before we went to the gun range because I didn't know nothing about it. I was just scared, and it was just no. I didn't want a gun at all. But now that I shot it, it's not as bad as I thought it was.
That's what's happening. All right, and there we have it. Once again, y'all, that's Brittany. She's doing an amazing job. We have another great client of mine. Her name is Megan. Hey, now Megan, basically I'm gonna ask you a few questions. The topic of today, and there's Edison. He's a topic of today as well. We'll get to that. The question is, what caliber should women carry? Okay, so give me the rundown. Give me all of it, actually. You being an anti-gun individual, and then you crossing over, and what choices that what your thought process was in choosing your caliber and what that is. Go ahead.
All right, so my whole anti-gun thing started when I was little. My dad was against them. He wouldn't even let us play with water guns, and so as I got older, I became deathly afraid of them. And a couple of years ago, my husband wanted to get some, and I said, no, I don't want them around me. I don't want them around my child, because I had just given birth to our son. And then hit me with the pretty real life scenario that was like, okay, I need to go ahead and get one, since me and my son spend quite a bit of time alone, basically. And so I went ahead and got one. Pretty much my first question to him was, I need something that'll knock somebody on their ass. I don't want them to keep coming towards me. I need them to stop, either die or just completely stop in their tracks. And he said, you need a 40 caliber or greater. Went to the store, and the 40 caliber gun was what felt most comfortable in my hand. And so we went ahead and went with that one. Edison went around the corner.
Right there.
Edison!
He's right down there.
Back. Edison decided to go gun shopping and leave us. But okay, go ahead. Where were we? We were...
I went and got the gun. And before I was even trained on it, I carried it around. Came by the apartment and did dry runs is what you call it?
Dry fire. Mm-hmm.
Dry fire, and that made me a little bit more comfortable with the gun. But just carrying it around, even with the range bullets in it, really, really helped. And then first time I shot it, I was good to go.
Really? Now let's deal with. Go ahead. Can you promise not to go to gun store? Can you? All right, great. Thanks. All right, now walk us through the idea of the recoil is too much and why women shouldn't have a larger caliber gun because the recoil is so much. Your gun does have recoil. I mean, you don't have a small pew pew, you have a bang bang.
Right.
So do you think that the recoil is a significant problem or just something that you could just train through?
Well, honestly, what had me afraid of was the sound. It wasn't even the recoil on it.
Okay.
That wasn't even something I factored in when I first shot the gun. But when I did, it kind of jolted me back. But the way that you, taught us how to stand and everything kind of helped me balance myself. But like you said, by the time it recoils, that bullet is already gone.
Right.
So that really wasn't a major factor. But when you keep shooting it, you get up your strength to be able to handle it and the way you hold the gun. So it's really not a major issue. That should be the least of your worries.
Got it.
Aim, shoot, and worry about the recoil later.
What advice would you give women who are skittish about getting guns and skittish about what kind of gun they should get?
I would present them with the same scenario that you presented with me.
Right.
I'm married, and so the scenario that you presented was basically if somebody broke into our home and pistol whipped my husband and he was out cold, you know, what would I do? Or if they knocked him out, tied him up or whatever, and made him watch them do whatever they had to do to me, what would I do? And so I didn't want to ever be placed in that scenario. I didn't want to have that remorse against my husband. And so that scenario alone is what made me want to get a gun. It took away all the fear that I had as far as having one. And so anybody that's skittish, I mean, it's crazy times we live in. Honestly, these folks don't give a damn anymore. And it's better to be prepared and have your gun than not be prepared and you shit out of luck, basically. Like I told it's the worst case scenario is having a issue with your toilet and you don't have a plunger. So it's worse to be in a scenario where you don't have your gun and you really need one. I mean, you have to push that fear aside. It's your safety, it's your child's safety, it's your family's safety. I'd rather the person trying to attack me be dead than my family having to bury me. Wow.
Amazing insight. We definitely appreciate that. Hold up, where's Edison?
Right there.
Edison!
Come on back, babe.
He's always gone shopping, I tell you. But yeah, that is amazing. Great insight. That is something a lot of women should know. Like I said, it's an ongoing debate on what women should carry. Of course, my personal opinion is carry what's comfortable for you based on what you want that bullet to do to the target.
Right, well, and get rid of those little cute guns. I mean, if they're not doing what they need to do, get rid of them. You need to get you a big gun, scare people away.
Yes, indeed.
I don't have time for a little pew-pew purple gun.
Well, there we have it, folks. Once again, that is Megan. We definitely appreciate her, and we're out. Another interview here. This individual this is my queen right there. Yes, indeed. Okay, babe. So let's tell people, what kind of gun do you shoot?
I shoot a Kimber 1911 Pro Carry to 45 caliber.
Wow, that's pretty big caliber.
It's a big sexy gun.
Big sexy gun.
Yeah.
All right, tell us about that. How does that feel for you, as a woman carrying a quote unquote big gun like that? How do you feel about it? What's your opinion on it? And why do you think it's good or bad for a woman to carry a small or large caliber?
Well, let me say this first. I'm more favorable towards large calibers. For one, as a woman, I feel like you need a caliber that will be able to put down whomever is trying to hurt you.
Wait a minute, back up. You saying, as a woman, you feel like whatever caliber you shoot should put down. But the only question I would have, you completely negated everything that spawns this conversation, being that what caliber should women shoot, as in, well, it's too big for the recoil, it's too heavy of a gun, so on and so forth. Explain that.
Okay, I'm getting there. What I mean by that is, if you're trained on a weapon, whether it be a 9, a 40, or a 45, the smaller the bullet, the more accurate your skills must be in the heat of the adrenaline, in the heat of fighting with someone. Your skills have to be that much more on point, whereas I give this scenario. Guy tried to rape you, you run into your car trying to get away, and you shoot at him and you miss him, and you have a 9 or a 380, or you only graze him with that one bullet, whereas I know with my 45, that one, even if I just hit him in the shoulder, I'm gonna knock him on his ass. So wow. I feel more comfortable with a 45 because the simple fact is, in the midst of us having to use our weapon as a woman, we won't just be standing there at a target like we do at a range. You're gonna be in fear for your life. You're gonna be trying to get them out you, hoping you don't have to, hurt somebody, but at the same time, you need to be able to effectively defend yourself where you can go home.
Wow.
So that's why I'm in favor of the 45, and besides, I like the way it feels.
Okay.
So I don't really have small hands. My hands semi-big, fingers long, and it just, the 45 fits perfectly in my hand. I don't really worry about the weight of it because
I would say I'm in shape, so I can handle the weight of a 45. It's not heavy when I carry it around. It's normally, excuse me, either in the car, under the seat, in the seat, or in my backpack. So I'm not carrying it around in my pocket or concealed carry. But in the event that I do have to conceal carry, a holster would evenly distribute the weight to my body type and be made for the weapon as well.
Wow, that's big. And the reason I'm saying wow is because the order of which you dealt with these topics, your primary objective sounds like it's the self-preservation. Then we can get into what it feels like, and then we can get into how it fits on our person. That's pretty serious, and that's one of the things that a lot of women aren't privy to, and that's the self-preservation idea first, but they would more so tackle the how I feel about it as an individual versus how much it's going to protect me. Yeah. Wow. Once again, that's the queen, that's LaTasha. Yes, indeed. I think y'all understand why I've fallen in love all over again. All right, we're going to go to the next one. You got anything else for us?
Last thing, with choosing your caliber of weapon, always understand what that bullet does to your target. For one, you have to ask yourself, can you afford to miss if you know someone is after you and your life is in danger? Can you afford to only hit them in the leg and they still be able to get to you? You have to know what you want your bullet to do to your target. Now, if you're efficient at a standing still target or a moving target and you're okay with a smaller caliber, then cool. But if you know you're someone to panic and that your emotions take over, I would recommend a larger caliber gun to make sure you're safe and you're going home at the end of the day.
Wow. And there we have it. Once again, ladies and gentlemen, this is the Queen, LaTasha, and we out. Okay, there you go. You got a few different ideas on why they carry what they carry. Upon the purchase of a firearm, any firearm, this is what I say, okay, is what I say law. No, because everybody has their own ideas and own opinions on this subject. My subject opinion, it doesn't matter what caliber a woman shoots, as long as she learns to proficiently shoot that caliber. You want to walk around with a 50 caliber Desert Eagle? Do your thing. We'll teach you how to use it. You know what I mean? So just make sure you pick what you like, what fits your personality. Hey, if you want a pink gun, you want a yellow gun, do your thing. It's all about what you want that round, that bullet to do in the moment. Okay? So that's the main thing you want to focus on. Don't worry about what the recoil feels like. Don't worry about any of that. Train to use it. Now, I hear a lot of people on here, oh, the recoil is too much. I hear men saying that. That is ridiculous. Train for it. Because when you walk into a gym and you pick up a 50-pound dumbbell, the first time you pick it up, it's probably going to be heavy for you, okay? But over time, training and training and training, you'll probably see yourself warming up with that 50 pounds because now you're pulling up some hundreds, okay? It's all relative. Stop the foolishness. Get some training. Get it in. Repetition. Consistency. That's how we overcome these barriers that we call too much of this and too much of that. Let's be honest. The first time you drove a car, everything seemed like it was moving so fast. You were frightened. You couldn't handle it. But hey, guess what you did? You kept doing it. You stuck to it. So, my opinion on the whole what caliber should women carry, it doesn't matter. We can train you to use whatever caliber you want. Get the caliber you want. It really doesn't matter. Do I genuinely believe that do I genuinely believe that a woman should only carry a small caliber? Of course not. Here's why. Scenario. An idiot decides he wants to assault a woman, sexually rob her, whatever. She pulls out a 22. Pop. Is that going to stop that individual? Chances are, let's just say no, simply because if that individual chose to, or someone told her to pick a 22 because the caliber is small and you have to deal with the recoil, 1, 2, 3, chances are she's not going through a significant amount of training with that firearm, which means in the moment she won't be trained enough to plant that round where it's supposed to be. Shot placement. Shot placement is not even going to be remotely close to where it should be to stop someone with a 22. So now we fired around 22, 25, whatever, and the assailant doesn't stop. Then what? That's my problem. You need to choose a caliber that is going to do what you want it to do when you hit that target. Well, that's just my opinion. My opinion is not law. It's nothing more than my opinion. This is O from Body by O, Body by O Tactical. Hit us up on bodybyoTactical.com. Like, comment, share. Hey, Body by O Tactical. Find a way or make one. We out.